of Chasing Dallas, and I can add every one of them except Charles.
Except for Charles.
The ones I need. Okay, up.
No, there we go.
Up.
We have him. We got Charles. Hey.
Hey.
Look, it's that drink got you not being able to come in here.
Listen, I was sipping and tipping, and y'all was taking so long, and I was just like,
Look, but you got into it. That's okay.
It was a good show, though, wasn't it?
It was a great show. Mm-hmm.
Thank you. I do appreciate that. Look, you know what to say. Look. Don't let them know we told you to say that.
Right. So, before we get started, tell everybody who you are, where to find you on your social medias.
Absolutely. So I'm Charles Jackson. I'm a party promoter here in Dallas, Texas, an entrepreneur. You can find me on Facebook at Charles Prince Cut Jackson, and on Instagram at Prince Cut, PRINCE CUT 706, Prince Cut 706, or PrinceCut.ent on Instagram.
I know that's right. Look, I ain't mad at it.
He's so professional. You can find me at Prince.
Okay. He got the deep voice. Like, he got the deep voice.
That berry. You got that berry.
So we like to before we get into the shits and Chasing Dallas, we like to get to know who our guests are. And so take me back before the promoting, before you was like, I'm Charles and this is what I want to do. And what inspires you to get into promoting?
Well, honestly, it was kind of like I was one of those kids who never really knew what they wanted to do. I just always knew that I wanted to be an entrepreneur, because my dad and all of my dad's siblings are entrepreneurs. So like I come from that kind of like entrepreneurial background. So I didn't know what I wanted to do. All of my friends were like, oh yeah, as kids, they wanted to be doctors, veterinarians, and things like that. And I was the kid that just never knew what he wanted to do. So in college, of course, I went for political science, paralegal studies, and I minored in Spanish. But that's not what I wanted to do. And I've worked as a paralegal for a little while. And I still can do it occasionally, freelance now. But I always wanted to like party all the time. Like, you know what I'm saying? And partying was always what I did. Like, I was like, I'm partying. On Thursday, it's college night. On Friday, it's
right.
Before 10. On Saturday, I'm there. Sunday night, I'm there. So I was like, I know I want to be an entrepreneur. And much as I go out, every club in my city should give me stock in the club. I should own a part of it because I've partied so much and spent so much money with their asses. So I was like, I'm going to get into that. And I just became very passionate about changing the nightlife and the going out in the LGBT community. And I wanted to bring a better experience. And so I just became really passionate about that. So I started promoting. And that's what I'm doing now. But ultimately, my goal is to have a production company and to open my own club. That's what I want. I would like to do.
Yes, for goals. Okay. Yes, for goals.
Yes.
That's dope.
I got to ask him my magic questions real quick. Charles, I get into you. I feel like you're real mellow. What do you do when you're trying to relax? Do you cook? You clean? Do you draw? Do you have any other little things that, help get your mind ready for the next day?
Yeah, absolutely. So I can cook. I'm from Mississippi, obviously. So I'm a country boy at heart, period.
Look, you shouldn't have said that because now you owe him a plate.
Listen, I got you. So I can cook. I haven't cooked in a long time.
Please.
Listen, I haven't cooked in a long time because I come from a big family. Like, I have 5 siblings. So I'm used to cooking for a lot of people. And, like, now that it's just me, it's hard to cook small portions.
Right.
So
I agree. I feel the same way.
Yeah. So I find myself eating out a lot. So, yeah. And there was something else.
What's your favorite dish?
My favorite dish? Well, I'm black. So, like, my favorite dish is usually, like, chicken wings. Chicken wings and, like, any kind of pasta. Like, I love pastas, chicken wings, things like that.
Pastas.
Look, I like
some pasta.
Yeah, you like some pastas there.
Yeah.
Look, so getting into promoting and things of that nature. What we promote, right? We started off this company promoting. I've been promoting since I was 17 years old, and I got into it kind of like how you got into it. I was partying a lot, and then someone came in my ear, was like, "You're here all the time. Why are you not making no money being here?"
Right.
And I was like, "Facts." Why the fuck ever? So, and then I got into it. So, me doing that, my life kind of shifted. And I kind of became a socialite without trying to be a socialite.
Right.
What is that mental in shifting? Because it is a whole different lifestyle. And you're like kind of like locally famous almost, where everybody knows you, everybody wants to be your friend because they feel like they can get in the club. You know, do you experience a lot of that? And has your friends kind of skyrocketed or kind of plummeted since then?
Well, I'm a very private person naturally. So, and it's not that I'm private because I'm ashamed of anything. I'm just a private person. Like, I'm a Cancer, so I'm always in tune with my emotions and my feelings.
Okay,
so I became very private because, you know, naturally I'm a shellfish. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm a shell creature, and so like I'm very careful about who I let in. So yes, being a promoter, a lot of people know me. I'm seen a lot. You know, I'm on a lot of flyers. You know what I'm saying? So that's one thing. As far as my friends, I feel like I have a very intimate circle of friends, and they pretty much remain constant. You know, like I do have every now and then one to join the ranks, but you know, I don't really believe in surface friends anymore because I like to have those friends now. I'm 29 years old now as of July 6th, but I like to have friends who actually know me and can go beneath the surface and tell, like, today something is wrong with him, let me fix this, you know, or let me get him back to a good state. So I don't really have a huge circle of friends, and I keep it that way because I like the fact that the friends that I have, they recognize the greatness in me and they are always on their head to protect me, you know. So.
And my bad for laughing. I'm not laughing at you. I laugh because you were talking about friends, and I saw a particular. I want to get to that later, but I saw a particular live about a friendship conversation, and I'm like, well, yes, I know he is serious. He only got his certain friends, and he doesn't like nobody else involved.
Because that's the petty friend. Where you been at? Well, okay, so we got you here. You're a promoter now. What obstacles, or what was one of your major obstacles getting to where you are now, and how did you overcome it?
One of the major obstacles, I think, for me, although I'm very social, I can be antisocial at the same time. It's weird. I don't know. Like I'm like socially antisocial. Like, so sometimes like reaching out to build relationships and to build bonds with people and work in relationships, that was hard for me because it was just like, dang, I want to reach out, but I don't really like the way he be acting out. Like, you know, he got a great vision, but just like the way he acts and portrays himself out, I don't like that. And I don't know if I want to follow his DMs to talk about business because maybe it'll go left. And so I think the obstacle was I was in my own way. And once I started to move myself out of my own way, I think a lot of doors started to open up. And when I started to reach out to people, just to see how receptive they were to me was amazing because I'm like, dang, it was that easy? Okay. And then it just started to pick up from there.
I've noticed in this industry, there's a lot of bullshit and a lot of people that, you know, don't want you to be greater than them. But there's also, on the second hand, a lot of people out here that value and admire people that are out here really working hard. You know what I'm saying? So,
Absolutely.
because I can agree with that. I was very intimidated with reaching out because I'm like even for guests, like, you know, we had Maya on the show, Dondra, Nicole, you know, people like that. And I was intimidated to even send the email out because I'm like, why are they going to get on my little platform and this, that, and the third? But these are people that has came on and been humble because they see the grind. You know what I mean? And when they watch my videos back, they see that it's not about mess that we are. And we may be messy sometimes and we may have some little gag moments, but at the end of the day, it's about supporting each other and having a platform for us to communicate on, whatever it takes to be. So,
and just to chime in on that and to just piggyback off what you're saying as far as like people see the grind, that's absolutely true. And not only that, they see the favor and they see that, oh, excuse me, I'm getting over a cold, so excuse me. But they see your hunger, you know what I'm saying? Because something that my pastor said to me, because, you know, They say I'm a church queen, but anyway. But something that my pastor said to me was, "You're very hungry, and I've never had a conversation with you before, but you're one of the hungriest people I ever seen. Like, you're hungry for whatever it is that you want, and I feel that you're gonna get it." And so with you, you know, people will come on the show because they can see your hunger. They see that you have something in sight, and you want to go and get it. And people are drawn to that because it's nothing like ambition. And when you're ambitious about something, you draw people from around you because they see your passion. And passion will bring you a paycheck, period. So keep going, keep doing what you're doing, period. You know what I'm saying? And it's going to always fall in line for you. And people will see that, and they'll jump on the bandwagon real quick because they want to go where you're going. Everybody looks at the top. And some people just look at
Well, before we continue, I want to say I thank you for coming on our platform and being able to talk with us and, you know, taking time out of your busy schedule to, you know, sip on that concoction.
What you drinking anyway? What is that?
Listen, this is a little bit of, you know, I think I'm a bartender, low-key. Mario, he always encourages everything. So this is a little bit of vodka and some, like, peach stuff that we mixed in here. It's like a peach margarita mix. Listen.
Because you know that's me all day. A peach and a mango. Hello. A peach and a mango all day. Yes, God. You ready for the shit?
Wait,
so we get into
who with cancer? Y'all, one of y'all?
I am.
Come through.
What? July 18th.
Oh, that's my favorite cousin's birthday. That's what's up.
Yeah. See?
I'm July 6th.
You know, the 18th.
Yeah.
Before we get into
G
status, we want to get a little bit more into. I mean,
got so many.
So many. Chasing Dallas. I want to get more into a little bit of you. So I got a lot of people that, you know, I see a lot of comments go your way. You know, he made a comment earlier like sexy teddy bear and this and that and third. What is your dating life like? What are you dating anybody?
Are you boot up?
So currently, no. Unfortunately, my last relationship did not work out for unforeseen reasons. But yeah, no, currently, no. I'm not currently dating anyone. And honestly, I'm open to it. But if it doesn't happen, it doesn't. I'm like kind of in a spot where I'm working on me, you know, because I'm not perfect. You know, I make mistakes. I'm human. And I'm in a spot where I'm working on getting myself back emotionally to 100%, you know, because I don't want to give myself to someone broken. Because that's a dangerous thing. Yeah.
Are you media trained? I feel like you're media trained. You tell me all the right things. Really
no,
know what
I'm
to
not
say. No, I'm just joking.
I'm flowing from my heart.
So we get into, you know, your life. Are you calling out? I don't know if there was an audition or something. So are you putting out an email to this audition for Chasing Dallas, or are you reached out to?
I was reached out to from Chasing Dallas.
You was reached out to.
Mm-hmm.
By Reese yourself, because I know certain cast members knew other cast members and kind of.
Yeah, so I didn't know anyone on the show. I actually didn't know anyone before the show. Reese actually reached out to me. Or whatever. I saw him out in passing a few times, and he actually reached out to me on social media and kind of told me what he had going on. And I was like, okay, well, let's see, let me think about it. And then we met up. We kind of like talked about it a little bit. I looked at the Chasing Atlanta series, and you know, from there we just kind of like one thing led to another, and I got into it. But yes, he reached out to me.
Okay.
Yeah.
We asked a question that I like to get the answers of because I feel like it's intriguing to know.
How it happened.
Right. Well, from camera time of recording to you watching episode 1 and airing, what was your mindset on that? And was it in the sense of, were you happy with who you portrayed to be?
I was happy with the content that I gave about myself. Honestly, yes. I was happy with the content that I put on because actually I put on what was going on in my real life. At the time, you know, I was working with the company King's Pride, which is, you know, obviously a body positivity movement. So I was working with them, and that's what I was really doing. So I was promoting that. So I put that on the show, you know, and I wanted that to inspire. As far as the perceptions of me by other people, I don't know if I was really happy with that, because I think that so many, or not so many, but there were a few people on the show who tried to, they didn't know me, you know, so I feel like they kind of like went at my character when they tried to do character assassination when they didn't know me, and that's unfortunate, you know. So
a lot of people watch the show, and of course we do. So do you feel like a lot of the drama was stemmed because, and you know, I don't want to be blunt, but be blunt, would you feel like a lot of the drama stemmed from Reese, and that, you know, from episode 2 of his social gathering versus you not coming and all of that situation? Because I feel like that's really where
it kind
of hit the
fan.
Yeah. To me, I feel like, yeah. I mean, because honestly, at the end of the day, I feel like this. Reese G is the executive producer, period. Point blank. So there are certain things that he knows that we don't know, you know? It's like he's able to do like foreshadowing because he knows what's going to happen and he knows what's going on when we don't know. You know, it's just like if you're reading a story, as the reader, you know exactly what's going to go on because you know all 3 sides of the story.
Right.
But the people on the other 2 sides don't know. They just meet up and then it happens. But there was one person, us, the reader, who already knew what was going to happen. And in this situation, I feel like Reese G was the reader, period. You knew me, him, and you knew the issues that were there, and you did not do anything to prevent them, yet you created a platform to put them there, you know. And as the executive producer, you could have done, in my opinion, humble opinion, you could have done a lot to prevent that, you know, because at the end of the day, this was something that we talked about and we wanted this to be professional, you know, and as an executive producer, you had the final say-so over the content that went out. And you could have easily said, I don't want this content on my platform. We're not showing that. You know, but you chose to do that. And at his party, like you guys are speaking of, yes, that's where a lot of drama went on. And guess what? Guess who knew about that drama? And guess who knew about those stories before they came to those events or to that particular event? So it's it was like a railroad to me.
And you know, you're saying him and the situation, and you know, just so that we're clear, we're talking about, you know, Wooda and what he had said. What was that, 2 episodes ago?
Yeah.
About, you know, owing money or something like that.
Okay, and yeah, and that's another thing. And so even with
that wasn't what you was talking about.
No, honestly, because that didn't happen at Reese G's event. I was talking about the whole Tony and Kane situation.
Okay.
That's one thing that I felt like Reese G knew about prior to that. Period.
Okay, I got you.
Now that's a whole other situation. As far as Wooda Lee is concerned, I don't know him. Period. He and I has never had a sit down, a meeting of the minds, a transaction. I've never had my receipt book out for him. He's never had a receipt book out for me. We've never exchanged funds. We've never commingled funds or any of that. So I don't even know why he would go on a platform and say something like, Charles owes me money. No, that's crazy as hell. I don't owe you money. You know, and the thing is, I was working for King's Pride as a promoter and an ambassador. He invested money into King's Pride. So we were both on payroll, he and I, right? So that's just like you and I work at the same, to break this down, if you and I worked at the same company, and on Friday, I got my paycheck and you didn't get yours, would you come to work on Monday and say, Charles, you owe me money, I ain't get my check?
I don't go to you, I go to them.
They owe you money, if anything. But just to clear the air on that, like, from what I'm told, they've already paid him his money. And clearly, like, this was just something that he did or said to be relevant on the show. But who knows? I don't know. That's just what I've heard.
So
And tips.
we had him on the on the show. Was it last week? And he talked about the situation. Paid him a payment of it. So was that not true, or?
And we are back. Of course, you know Facebook don't like us to be great, but we're gonna go and add in Charles again.
You ready? We were just about to get into the whole judge and everything. Good
We're about to get into
Facebook
everything.
is doing the most.
But we're gonna be great anyway. And now, okay.
Gonna have this problem again.
But don't want to come up.
Okay.
But we do apologize, guys.
Sorry, y'all know Facebook. We do it.
We apologize. When I put YouTube, it's gonna be like one video, like they're not even gonna know.
It was Charles' fault.
Right.
It's that concoction. We're gonna blame it on that concoction.
Listen, is that what it was?
Yeah. So we were on.
We was at. I can tell you where we was at. So was that a lie? Because I remember my hand was just like this. Was that a lie when he said there was a payment?
He said right after that situation that you made a payment to him.
I didn't make a payment to him at all. Now what they did has nothing to do with me, but I didn't make a payment to him because I didn't owe him anything.
Oh,
what I did do though was because when he and I had a conversation at Premier's event, actually the Chicken and Hennessy party.
Right.
And he told me, hey, you know, I don't even want to bust him like that. But he told me that he had an issue with them as far as like money was concerned, right? And I said, well, you know, I didn't have anything to do with that part of it. I was just an ambassador and I was promoting for them. They were paying me. So any debts that they had with anybody, it didn't have anything to do with me. But since I am cool with them, I am going to go back and say that this is what you told me. So what I did was I took the information that he gave me because it concerned me, you know. He was saying that they owed him money. And so I took that information to the CEO of King's Pride, and King's Pride CEO told me, we don't owe him anything. We paid him money, and we can show you receipts. And he did show me receipts of Wooda Lee being paid. But again, I can't tell you anything. I wasn't there. That wasn't my job to make sure that Wooda Lee got paid. You know, and
so you pretty much was just dragged into it.
I was pretty much dragged into it. And to me, now that I watch the show and I listen to the things that's being said, it's like, if you are an investor, let's be clear, there's a difference between an investor and a loaner.
Right.
You know, as somebody who loans somebody money, you are guaranteed or you are expected to get your money back on a certain day in the same amount plus interest. Now, if you are an investor, you operate off of ROIs, which is return on investment, which means that you may not get anything back.
You may not get nothing, right?
Right. So if you were actually investing, which was the word that he used in the beginning of the series, he said he was an investor. If you didn't get money back, that's quite normal. It's a brand new business. You know what I mean? Like that happens all the time. Sometimes you get a return on your investment. Sometimes you don't. So, I mean, I think we need to get clear on what it was that he was doing, because I don't think that he provided, from what I've seen, I don't think that he's provided clarity on what it is that he was doing, whether he was loaning them money or investing. Nonetheless, I've been shown receipts where he's gotten money back. So, either way,
it sounds like, I don't know, it sounds like, and I should have asked him, like, was there a contract not made or something? Because that would have nipped all of this in the bud.
It would have nipped it in the bud. And listen, I'm a paralegal, so I know that we live in a very litigious society. People will sue the hell out of you, so I don't even play when it comes to that, because I don't want to be sued ever. You know, so I make sure that if I'm operating on someone else's dime, that we both have an understanding and we have that in writing to back us up. So I know that, you know, the portrayal of me owing him money will never exist on this planet or another one. So I don't even know why he put that out there. And then for two, I just don't see King's Pride operating like that. I don't see them taking money as a loan and not paying it back, because I've been in situations and I've been in meetings where they have gotten money and they've returned that money, and people have invested and they've gotten return on their investments, which is why I wanted to be involved, because I'm like, okay, this is a lucrative company. I'll do this.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I can be gainfully employed by these people. So that's why I did it. So I don't, just me knowing the track history of this organization, I can't see that happening. But if, you know, every now and then, maybe there is one that slips through the cracks.
Maybe something slipped through the butt, right?
Right.
Yeah.
And I understand. Well, the way you explain it now, it sounds like it was blown out of proportion. But again, you know, it is, as far as we're concerned, just hearsay from ourselves. You know,
Exactly.
it's just your side, his side, and all of that above. So not that we're trying to be biased, but it kind of makes sense.
Just wanted the
It kind of makes
background.
sense. And honestly, like I said, I wish I would have told him this. And you know, it's kind of his fault in the end, because there should have been a contract to guarantee
Exactly. Some type of paperwork.
some type of, you know what I mean, so that you don't have to go, oh, you paid me this, you paid me that.
It's right here.
It's all right.
Listen, and watch this. That's why for me, it's kind of hard to believe that side of the story, because at the end of the day, this is a real life organization. Like, you can Google them, they'll come up. You can go and see that they're registered with the state of Texas Secretary of State's office. It's going to come up. So I think that they're smart enough to, if they were, you know, and they have records on their books. And I think that they're smart enough that if they take money from someone, to document that. You know, I've seen their records. It's documented. Even what they've paid me is documented. You know what I'm saying? If I want to file that on my taxes, I'm going to get a slip. It's documented. So I don't think that they would operate in a way in which we're just taking people's money and not giving them, you know what I mean? Without some type of conversation.
It's something that's not being said somewhere.
Yeah, and I believe that, honestly, if there was, which I know it was a transaction between the two, King's Pride and Wooda Lee, but there's definitely a contract in place. I know that. I haven't seen it because, again, I wasn't on there, but I know how they operate. You know, and I know that there was some, I can guarantee you there was something in place. Because I didn't see the contract, but I've seen receipts. So.
Okay.
So I want to kind of, like, you know, not be too, like, we're just worried about the drama. I wanted you to give me some highs. Don't give me no highs of what we haven't seen yet, but some highs in the show, and what has the show done for you as of yet?
Some highs in the show. I think that an awesome thing is I like that the show actually breeds awareness to certain things. You know what I mean? As far as Tony, which he's an amazing soul. Don't get me wrong. And I kind of want to tiptoe around this because I don't know how he even feels with us talking about it. But with Tony's addiction or whatever, I think that was an amazing thing, because that was the show pointing out awarenesses, you know, like pointing out issues and pointing out real life and pointing out, you know, just bringing, just bringing awareness. So that was a great thing. And then even with Kane's sexual addiction, I think that was another great thing, because especially amongst men, not just gay men or, you know, whatever, or homosexual men, not just us, but just men, period. Sexual addiction is at an all-time high. You know, if you can read those stats, like it's at an all-time high. So I think, you know, that was kind of the show spotlighting another issue that affects or plagues the community as well. So those were two highs. And as far as what the show has done for me, although there's been times where I was on the edge of my chair watching the show and biting like my fingernails, the show has just been, it's been a great platform, you know, to have been a part of. And I think that although this is at first I was really crucial of the show and critical, but this is just the first season, you know, and that means it's our first time doing it. It's Reese's first time being the executive producer. We're all brand new to this. So, you know, going forward, there's a season 2, there may be a season 3, and so on. It's time. We have time to correct ourselves. You know what I mean?
It's trial and error. Yeah. But you know, and for this first try, and I'm sure there is errors, and I know Reese knows as more than anybody the errors he goes through. But I think he's doing an amazing job with what it is, because even though there is the drama, I feel like it's so work related,
Right.
and so everybody is so engaged into their careers
100%.
or whatever they're doing, which I love that aspect of it.
And I love the openness. How did you feel about B. King when he was talking about his relationship, with the openness of their relationship? Like, that to me was a wonderful episode, because you get to see. Excuse me. Sorry. Did I say too much?
So how do I feel about that?
Like, I mean, not just.
Yeah, go ahead.
That's what you want to know. I mean, how did you feel about how that was portrayed, like that episode? Like, because I saw it in a good light. It was very open. It was very honest. And I feel like that's a lot of things that us as homosexuals, we need to talk about, because we are outside of the box. So why not, relationship-wise, why we got to be in a box? You know what I'm saying? So if that's what they want to do, to be.
And for me, I listen, I respect everybody's point of view, and I respect everything that works for anybody, but I was asked my personal stance. I don't necessarily agree with that. I'm very maybe old school, and because I mean, what B. King and his husband is doing, a lot of people are doing that, But for me, I just can't get with it, because I'm very much so like, a relationship is just what it is. I break that word all the way down. It's a relationship. It's a relation, first of all, you being in a relation with another person, and then it's a ship. And it has to be just you and the other person on that ship. So you're in relation with somebody on a ship. And I feel like everybody can't get on this ship to go where we're going. That's just how I feel. But I mean, if that's what works for him, that's what works for him. But it's just not necessarily my thing, because it would just bring too many insecurities for me. You have to be a strong person to do something like that, and not. To me, that would breed all kind of insecurities, and you just have to be a strong person to do something like that and not be insecure.
But it goes off of what you said, though. It's still, bringing awareness to a community of people that are out here that are
doing that.
That's
why I was like,
out there, like open relationships and stuff like that. And with everything else going on, it is more than, to me, I love it because it's more than just Reese making awareness to these stuff. But I feel like it's making it more relatable, because it's a difference when you watch these reality shows now that's on, you can't relate to these people. They're in mansions and this and that, and their trips in Dubai and this and that and third. But with this, opioids addiction is something very, very common and high in our community. Also, going into an open relationship, there's a lot of people out here that have open relationships that don't know how to come out and saying it or be themselves, and they cause themselves to be miserable in relationships that they don't want to be in because they're not themselves. So I feel like it brings a relatability where it's like, okay, I can relate with you, and there's somebody else like me out there, and is still doing it on top of having this issue or whatever they, you know what I mean? So I think that's what is a huge, huge impact on what's going on, because no other show on TV and off, on internet is doing what is doing that, as far as, the problems that are coming up on the show. So shout out to that.
Yeah, absolutely. And as far as for me, I think the other question you asked is, what has the show done for me? It's given me a lot of, like, not just, I mean, I was pretty known here in Dallas, but I mean, I've traveled outside of the state, and people are like, aren't you Charles from Chasing Dallas? And I'm like, yeah. And people like want to take pictures and all that, and I'm like, I am just a normal guy. Like, it's listen, I do the same stuff you do. Well, maybe not the same stuff, but I wake up the same way you do. I go to the bathroom the same way. I put on my pants one leg at a time, just like you.
Yeah, but you know what? Take your gold star, though. Everybody goes to class when you're young, but you still get a gold star when you do something a little bit extra or something exceptional. So, and those are little gold stars. Let me take a picture. Oh my God, you're Charles. Take it because you're working hard for it.
Absolutely.
You're working hard for it.
Absolutely. And I think the other thing that it made me do was to really think a little further into before I respond. Like, it made me think, because it's like, wow, Like, I know I got on this platform because I wanted to inspire people to aspire to live better.
That you do that.
So, huh?
You definitely do. Well, go ahead.
Absolutely. Thank you. No, I just knew I wanted to inspire people to live better, especially people in the LGBT community, because my heart goes out to people when I've heard so many stories. And fortunately, you know, my life, I didn't have a hard time. You know, I really didn't have a really hard time. My parents were very, they didn't give me a hard time. You know, they were very evolved in their thinking. They didn't give me a hard time, but I've heard so many stories. And, you know, it just, my heart goes out, and I've always wanted to be there to help people. And that's, speaking of one of the things that I want to do, again, the show definitely makes me want to watch my words, and it makes me want to continue to work harder and strive and keep being that light. And one of the things that I want to do is I want to do a nonprofit, and I want to open a Hope House here in Dallas to like kind of give misplaced or homeless LGBT people somewhere to go. And I want to offer like mentoring and therapy for them.
That's
just
amazing.
So they can
Shout out
become
to you,
involved
man.
in their thinking, and they can live and sit in the fullness of who they are as people.
Yes,
That's amazing.
Everything.
That's dope. That's
It's definitely
dope.
needed. It's definitely needed.
Absolutely, yeah, for real, yeah. So.
You know, it's funny because, you know, I love our show, because we do things. We watch you guys on this TV, you know, and we're only watching a certain aspect. But, you know, as viewers, we're watching, and, you know, we have to get our life. So we put this big story, and we act like we know you guys, and every week we're like, what? And all this good stuff. But
yeah,
you're a lot more, and please don't take this offensive, but you're a lot more professional and out the mess than I thought. You know, it's not that I thought you were messy or you was unprofessional, but it's just, you know, I see you in a different light now that I talk to you out here, and you're so well spoken, and I know you know how to cut up and stuff, but I love the way you carry yourself.
Absolutely.
And the way you react to things and different things like that. Like, you were very cool. Even when we talked about two dramas that, like you say, is nail biting and get you at the edge of the seat, you still react in a way, you know, with grace, and you know, with a professional stance where it's like, oh boo, you're gonna make it. Because that consistency, you know, people don't realize that consistency is what corporate America is looking at, is what the higher people, is the mainstream. When you want to get to that mainstream level, these are the little stuff that you have to watch out for, and you have to make sure you keep that consistency. You have to keep that whatever, because if you want to be ratchet, then that's going to keep you in that ratchet lane.
Exactly.
You know, but if you want big people to invest big money in you, you got to show them why. You know, you got to do whatever. It's okay to be ratchet, but you don't got to be ratchet all the time everywhere. It's a time and a place.
It's a time and a place.
I respect from you. You know, if you don't mind, how old are you?
So as of July 6th, I turned 29.
Look at that. And
he got a grown man already.
You just have a grown man to you.
Yeah.
I want to get into I want to get a little bit more personal. Going back to dating, how has your DM been since the show?
Listen, my DMs was already kind of crazy because I don't know why. Like, and I think it's because of, like, on social media, I'm very, like, I don't put out like half naked pictures or me in my underwear or any of that purposely, because I want to. It's easy to do that, you know what I'm saying? But it takes thought behind, like, trying to inspire people, you know. And I'm the person, like, I'm up for a challenge. I don't want to do what's easy to get likes. I want to be liked because of who I am, and I want to be liked because I'm inspiring someone, you know what I mean? So I'm always that person. So my DMs is always kind of weird. Like, it was always kind of like dudes that come off like, hey, how you doing? Just wanted to speak. But what's up, though? So now, like it be going, like, my DM, it go up. It definitely go up. But I mean, like I said, honestly, I'm just working on me. So I really don't focus on that. And most of the people who come in my DMs, they're very respectful. And I think it's because however you treat yourself, people will the way people treat you will be that reflection.
ahead.
So I
Law
always
of
respect
attraction
myself.
is real.
Okay.
Law of attraction
Yeah.
is real. The
Yeah.
energy that you put out is the energy that you will receive.
You
That
will
is
receive.
100% facts.
Whatever you put into the universe will always yield it back. And I always try to put good things in, and that's what comes back to me all the time.
And that's where your blessings come back. And people
Absolutely.
feel like they're not humble when they appreciate their blessings that come. Let me tell you something, baby. Yell it from the rooftops. Because
Yeah.
only you have worked hard for that. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, people,
Absolutely.
don't brag, don't do. I'm going to brag because
Shit,
you know how hard I worked to get here?
Look, okay.
Absolutely.
Hell yes, I'm glad about this and I'm glad about that. And I'm going to yell it every day because I yelled it before I got it
Okay.
to get it.
But you know what? And just to take it to a higher level, it's not even about bragging. It's just that once you've gone through so much, that once you finally get your blessing, you're supposed to tell people, because that's God's way of blessing you for being steadfast and being consistent and persistent. You know what I'm saying? So you get blessings because God wants to get the glory out of your life, right? So you go through a valley, and then the valley is kind of like the rough place, right?
Mm-hmm.
Come on, servant.
You see what I'm saying? I don't even want to go there, but listen.
No, come on, servant.
Everybody wants the mountaintop experience. Don't get me wrong. Don't everybody want the mountaintop experience. Everybody want to take selfies. Look at me, I'm on top. But no, nobody put pictures of themselves in the valley saying, I'm struggling, I'm going through today, not a good day. You know, nobody put pictures showing that. But, you know, you have to go through the valley so you will appreciate that mountaintop experience. And so when you get there, yes, you're supposed to say, this is what I'm doing. This is where God has elevated me, because God has elevated me. This is the glory. Look what he took me through to get me here. Like, you know what I'm saying? So why not? Like, it's not even about bragging. It's just about
telling your
testifying
story
and giving what you've gone through. Right?
I love ourselves. I love this. I love this because I feel like
church house of my family.
You know, we got to shed knowledge to this. You know, we got to shed knowledge to these kids. Honestly, because these kids think that this messiness and shadiness is what it is.
No gag. Wait a minute.
And it's not at all.
It ain't even.
It's not at all.
It ain't even just the kids. It's some. I know. It's some of our peers that need to hear this all the time. Like, you know, because we grown people and we still act like that on certain days, and it's not necessary. It's really
but you know what? The reason and one of the reasons why I said yes to this show is because we have so much media out there already that is sending the wrong messages and it's sending the wrong standard for how to act. You know, and so like I know that every day I'm not throwing drinks in people's face and I'm not cussing people out and I'm not in drama. Right. So I'm like, okay, let me go out here, because you have to be a part of the change you want to see. You actually have to be the change you want to see.
Come on, sermon.
World stop.
Look.
I know that I live like a decent life, you know, and I'm a rational person, and I react to situations in a rational manner most of the time. So it's like I'm gonna put that out there, you know, because we got enough love in hip hop. We got enough Basketball Wives. We have enough Real Housewives of Atlanta. We don't need another one of those.
We don't need
what
another
we
one.
do need is something that shows people like this is the correct way to live, and this is how you treat people, and this is how you conduct yourself in a sensible manner. Like, you know, we don't need no more nonsensical things happening. Like, we just don't need no more of that. So I'm off my soapbox.
And that's why you have these people that come in for a fad, and then you have some people that's here for longevity. Exactly. And that ratchetness is going to keep you here for now. But you don't realize the next best ratchet thing you forgot about now.
Exactly. It's that simple. Yeah. It's so simple.
You know, the next viral thing you're not even thought about no more. You know what I'm saying? So, boy, let me tell you something.
This interview is everything.
Somebody's shouting. Somebody is shouting.
Even Jocelyn Hernandez was replaced with Tommy Lee.
Right.
Who thought she was going anywhere? But you know, when you act like that, you only, and we reward positive. You know, we reinforce negative behavior all the time. But it's time out for that. Like, you know, because at the end of the day, when you act a fool like that, you only go so far. Like, at the end of the day, that person is only going to go so far when they act a fool and clown and show out. The universe does not give them greatness. You know what I'm saying? They may be okay in the moment, but you're never supposed to, like, be happy or be concerned about people who act like that, because at the end of the day, they are not going anywhere, period. Attitude determines altitude.
Hello?
Yeah.
And look, you better keep. Let me tell you something.
I'm finna write all of this down.
Look, no, he's speaking some knowledge.
I'm finna write all
He's
of this
speaking some
down.
knowledge.
Okay,
Something that you said, my bad, brother.
Look, are you good?
Something that you said,
My hair
it
gets
resonated
good.
with me. It resonated with me with there's all the, you know, we have Real Housewives, we have Love and Hip Hop, but you know the thing about that, that's the straight community, and the straight community, I feel like, and this is just my opinion, is allowed to have all of that because they also have the bougie stuff. They also have the daytime TV. They also have the stuff that's family time. Us as the LGBT community, all we have out here is the ratchetness. We have no more room for that because that's all the umbrella we have. So I can accept it I can accept another ratchet, straight, you know, thing, whatever the case may be. But I'm not gonna accept another ratchet, you know, LGBT event, show, or whatever because that's all that we have. That's the only umbrella we have over our head, and that's what you know.
I like that. I like that assessment, but I'm gonna say this too, even because I don't really like to marginalize things. Like, I mean, the LGBT community, great, but I'm gonna say I can't even accept another straight ratchet because I have nieces and nephews. I have brothers and sisters who are looking at this, and it's like, for them being heterosexual people, I don't want them to think that this is how you conduct yourselves. You know what I'm saying? I'm in one community, okay, but I'm talking for like the young people growing up who haven't decided whether or not they're straight or gay or, you know, whatever the case may be. They can't afford to have another level.
And I understand, that's facts, but they also have, and what I was trying to say is, but they also have Nickelodeon to go to. They have PBS Kids. They have Channel 7. They have, you know, these sitcoms that you can watch and laugh with your whole family from 2 to 67. We don't have that.
Right.
I only have the ratchetness to see. I only have the little bit of couple people we have on Love and Hip Hop and Atlanta. But when I see it, it's yes, bitch, and they're giving tea. You know, it's always that for us.
Yes.
We don't have a PBS Kids. We don't have a Nickelodeon. We don't have this other stuff that I can restrict those on my TV, not for you to watch VH1 and all of that stuff. If I restrict any of the gay shows for anybody, you ain't watching nothing.
Right.
And that was what my aspect was to it.
Absolutely. And I totally agree with that. Now, you're right. I guess I kind of, yeah, you're absolutely right. You're absolutely right.
So we got it, like you said, but we have to be the change. So check out KTV will be on mainstream TV real soon. Hello?
Yeah. Yeah.
But no, this was amazing. Honestly, like you really were dope. So I know you had something to say a little bit.
You done said it all. Go ahead, man. For the top.
I get excited.
Yeah, you did. Go ahead. Hey.
Look, he probably still waiting for that plate.
Word, the big word.
I got you.
No, look, you better.
No, he's serious.
Where are you guys located? What state are you in?
North Carolina.
North Carolina.
Oh, wow.
Well, yeah, look, we all
ain't no, wow. My pull-up game is strong for a play. Don't do it. I was showing up.
Listen, well, it's Pride in Dallas this weekend. It's Black Pride this weekend.
I want to go.
And we turning up all weekend, starting Thursday night.
Wait, is it the reunion Saturday too?
The reunion is on Sunday night.
Oh, Sunday
and after
night.
the reunion, we're going out. Yeah.
Oh, it's gonna be lit.
It's gonna be lit. Yeah.
The Royal Couch is invited.
Right.
Where to the reunion?
To all of it.
Yeah, come through. Yes, come through.
Well,
because now at the reunion is gonna be closed, but we are having media outlets to come through. So maybe you should get with Reese G on that. But I'm sure y'all, and you definitely welcome to Dallas.
Okay.
No, who I don't know. I haven't seen. I guess we won't know because this hasn't been aired.
Yeah.
But I guess I'll talk to Rishi about it. I want to know like who's the host of it. I would really wanting to know. But I guess I can't talk about it yet. I don't want Rishi to kill me.
I don't care who the host because I'm not.
Thank you, Rishi, babe.
How about it? No, I'm playing.
Let's pin that comment.
What is that?
No,
Okay.
Y'all can always come. Turn up in Dallas. Y'all always invited to Dallas, and it's always a turn up. Believe me. Dallas is the place to be. It's the third largest city in Texas, and we have over 23 millionaires that live in the city of Dallas alone. So you might even get caught up in a rapture of love when you come out here.
Okay, Charles. Those numbers.
I'm taking Charles, so
I mean, all I got.
I'm gonna have to make my own million. Look.
Listen, but you might get caught up with somebody that you can do business with.
You're right. We can network with. So
I just want my place, Charles. I'm not playing. I just want my plate.
I got you.
And
Listen,
you can cook for a big family because I eat it all week long.
Listen, that's not even.
I'm dead.
No, he's really dead ass though.
I want you, damn. My pull-up game is strong. Don't make me.
No, but we appreciate you coming on this platform. Honestly, you have really opened my eyes to be more motivated to doing what I need to do for myself and keeping the professionalism. And honestly, you keep that drive in me too, because sometimes I get discouraged with being so positive, and that may sound crazy, but sometimes I'm not gonna lie, I want to go Ratchet because I'm like, oh my God, Ratchet is winning. And let's be real. You know, people want the cut up, people want the excited, and I can get people on the show that's ratchet right. And will get the views up and stuff like that. But at the same time, I don't want to give that. You know, so I'm going to stay consistent with what I'm going. And that's why I feel like we've been so successful with working with magazines and radio stations and you know, there's secret projects that y'all don't even know about yet that's going to come out and stuff like that. So it's a lot of stuff that's happening. And I think it's because of the consistency of the positivity that we're doing.
And that's what I think.
Listen, and I so appreciate it. That's why I wanted, when you wrote me, I was like, tell me more about your show. Because I just hadn't watched it before. And now I'm a fan. And I was like, you know, I didn't want to go onto a show that had a track history of like ratchet people coming on acting a damn fool. Like, I didn't want to do that, you know, and because like you, I'm very particular about what I associate myself with, and you have to be like that, period. And the thing is, like, don't ever get tired of doing the right thing, because 10 years from now you're gonna look back and say, this platform that I built, it's always been positive. It's never been a moment. It's never been a fight on my show. It's never been drama. And then you're gonna attract the likes of people like that, you know? Because guess what? Iyanla Vanzant ain't coming on no show where you had Jocelyn Hernandez knocking somebody out on there.
You better.
You know, and Oprah not gonna come on a show where
that just gave me chills.
Good point.
That really just gave me chills, because that's deep though. Like, you know, 20 years down, I am gonna look at, you're gonna want that same consistency. You're gonna want that same platform to know that you got here without
you ain't step on nobody
changing, but without changing your
or wavering.
Or wavering, right? And I feel like that's why a lot of people don't become successful, because they maneuver away from their foundation plan, their original dream. They move around because they get distracted of what they, like I do when I get, you know, oh, maybe I should get ratchet, or maybe because that's what's winning. And I feel like that's why people don't succeed, because you're steering away from your dream.
Listen, I heard something, and I'm not gonna keep rambling on, but I heard somebody say this. In life, people generally lose because they have a plan A, B, and C. And the thing is, you should never have a plan A, B, and C. You should always have ways to work your plan A. Because if you have a plan A that didn't work, you go to plan B, and then what if that don't work? Now you have plan C, and then that don't work, when you could have just used plan B and C to work plan A. Everything that in your life that you have set up for plan A, everything, like with me, I feel like everything that I have in life, I use for the purpose, for my passion. You know what I'm saying? I use everything to make what I want to work. You know, I use everything for my plan A. It's no other plan for me. And once you're passionate about something, it will be no other plan for you. That plan A has to work. It ain't no such thing as plan B through Z. No, everything I do after this is going to be to make plan A work.
Hello. And it's funny that you say that, and I know that was just God talking, because about 2 months ago, if you go down, and I will put the receipts for my people that don't believe me, think I'm just saying this, and I will screenshot it. I put my plan B is my plan A.
Mm.
And it's so funny that you just said that right now, and how, you know how God
confirmation.
God is good. Look, how God puts people to confirm things and validate things in your life, you know, without even, you know, because that was like 2 months ago. And look at you saying the exact same thing. Look, you better get off my phone. Look, get off my phone.
Confirmation for real.
Confirmation for real.
Yep.
Whew. That gave me chills. I love this interview. Again, another interview that I really thought was gonna be T. You know, you went live with Reese the other day, and it was all this extra stuff going on. I really thought.
Listen and watch this. Even with that, because in some parts, I feel regretful because even with that, I think the thing that happened with that was Reese invited me to that live, and I didn't know I was being invited to the live. I didn't have a chance to get my thoughts together, so it was me responding without thinking. And I want to, for anybody who's watching this, you know, what I want to say is if I came off in any way that seemed disrespectful or discriminatory or just, you know, very like aggressive, that's not how I intended to come off. But in that moment, because of all the things that he and I has gone through, I was, you know, in my feelings. And, you know, as a human, we have the luxury of getting in our feelings every now and then,
Right.
you know, but we don't have the luxury to send wrong messages. So if I sent the wrong message and if I seemed like I was being ridiculous or pompous or arrogant or any of that, that was never what I was trying to do. I was only trying to air my grievances with him. That's it.
Mm.
And you know what? That's about respect for just that.
Right, bow down. That was deep.
That's security.
Yes.
That's being secure within yourself to admit your own wrongdoings and stuff like that. So shout out to both you and Reese, because honestly, y'all both doing y'all damn thing.
Exactly.
And y'all both strong Black men. And it's hard just being that by itself.
Exactly.
Absolutely.
And then to add gay involved with that, you know what I'm saying? It's we already have, you know, that, you know, triggers to our face. You know, we already have the bullseye on our face when we're already born. So to have this and then still be able to be successful and be positive and still do your thing, keep going and keep motivating, because that's what we need. We need more of you guys out here, really, really out here doing things and, you know, preaching to our souls. You know what I mean? Because you preached to me today, boy. You preached to me. You really did. And
I couldn't even act up. I got a whole headache. My inner child was like, "Oh, let's play in Charles." I couldn't even do it.
I'm like, this is gonna be a short
my
show.
In the back of your head, it turns to shut your ass up. Shut up. Shut up. Be talking. I was like, "Oh, okay. I'm gonna listen." Damn.
But thank you. You know,
thank y'all for having me. And anytime y'all need me to come on, or anytime y'all, if you have any ideas and you want to work together, or if you're ever in Dallas, or if I'm ever in North Carolina, we could, you know, let's get together. We can hang out. I'll look y'all up. Y'all look me up. If y'all come to Dallas this weekend, we definitely turn it up, you know. But
you definitely turn on
thank
the
y'all.
Is that what you said? Is that what you said?
He said, "Well, you definitely turn out the oven." Is that what you said? He said, "Turning up."
Oh, my bad. I heard turning on the oven. My bad.
Listen, if y'all come to Dallas, you know, we can get that cracking too. But there's so many good good eating places here in Dallas.
Not up for discussion. You're making the food. Thanks.
But y'all gonna be here more than one day, so you know.
Right, facts.
He likes to cook for a lot of people. I'm one person. It'll last me for a while. What you mean? Y'all don't talk
wait. You ain't gonna eat that every day you here though.
You don't know we do here. I eat, baby. I eat.
He's gonna eat that and everything else.
Okay. Don't get it twisted.
But thank you. Honestly, this has been really, really
inspiring and
the whole show was great. Great.
Unexpected. Again, another unexpected show, because I say it every daggone show. Every show, I always get a perception of a person, because like he said, I'm still a viewer. Just because we do these interviews does not mean I'm not a viewer. And I watch. And now it's like to have you on the show, it confirmed a lot. It made you feel alive.
Mm-hmm.
I fuck with Charles. Hello, darling. If you don't, look him up. He's Google.
Yes, absolutely. And I just thank y'all, and I appreciate it. And I swear, like, you know, flowing from my heart is nothing but gratitude, and it's nothing but love and respect for everybody. You know, I'll never disrespect anybody, and I just want y'all to keep this platform going. Keep it up, because we need this. We need this in the community, and we need people like you, people like myself, and people like Reese, and we need everybody to continue to just be, you know, a light, you know, to be a light and just not lose focus of what that light is. And, you know, as far as this show, if people can't take the light that you shining, hand them some shades. Don't stop doing what you're doing.
Boop.
You know, that's it. But I love y'all. Y'all have a good night.
Love you too. Thank you so much.
I love y'all. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. Look at this. I love good people.
Reese. Girl, with
You know
this
how to pick a
cast.
cast.
You did that. Cause I got so intelligent, they so smart, they so talented. It's you know, there is some fuckery in places, but it's this much compared to all of the other
And isn't
wonderful
that
things
life?
that they're doing.
And isn't that life? We all have a little fuckery in our lives. We all have somebody that pisses us off. We all have somebody that we have to knock in the head sometimes.
And he's talking about they need us. The inspiration is everywhere. We need each child. I'm sorry.
No, this has been a dope.
The
whole
dope.
thing. Even King Fresh earlier.
I'm through.
It was amazing. I had such a good time today.
He sounded like Pookie.
I had such a good time today. It was such a fun time. Thank you to our guests, King Fresh and Charles. And
you didn't know what to say.
I don't, because I'm taken back right now.
Lord, y'all, he gonna talk to me all night about this interview.
Shout out to everybody. We love everybody.
Y'all like my fan. My brother about this fan for me. I'm living. Y'all get into the 36, 24, 36?
Hello, whatever. Look, when you sit, it could be anything.
Yeah.
I love it.
The lavish. I'm sorry. Okay, we're doing the show.
Look.
I just had to get into myself.
You was having the show. Hello.
I had to, because you had the whole show. My brother gets to talking. I don't mind, though, because my brother's smart. He say what I be thinking. So, you know. I ain't have too much to say. I was being cute.
I'm the mouth, he's the face.
Oh, that was the sweetest thing you ever said in my life. I already knew, though. Nah, but for real, y'all, we are glad to be back with each other. We love our combo. As you see, my brother gets the gagging, and I get the laughing. I love y'all. We love y'all. Like,
we love.
Yeah, we just love. It's just everything. I have no idea. And we're going to keep pushing. We're going to keep pushing, supporting, and loving, and giving, because that's what everybody that we rock with is doing. You know, unity. Poopy tang. That was my new one.
U-N-I-T-Y.
That's the... Wait.
U-N-I-T-Y. That's the unity.
That's my unity? I like your new word.
That's the unity. Guys, that's the show.
But make sure you go like, share, subscribe. The Royal Couch with who? Key and King. Also chasing Dallas. Get into Mr. Dougie Fresh. Charles, darling.
Charles. And make sure y'all go to digthekicksdtk.com.
You can give him a little X. He got a little long line T.
I got the long line T. Make sure you go to digthekics.com. They are our sponsor. And go and type that promo code Royal and get 15% off. Make sure y'all go do that. That's our gift to you.
And remember, this day and age, y'all, safe is the new sexy. Wrap it up or don't do it. Hello. Just saying. Had to put that out there.
Yes.
Mm-hmm. You mad or not? So wide up.
So wide up.
So wide. See, y'all, I've been quiet the whole time. I gotta talk at the end of the show.
Tell us so.
Bye. We love y'all. Oh, wait. Don't hang up yet. So, remember when he was talking about a secret project?
Okay, Chun-Li.
I'm not gonna give y'all too much, but just prepare. Be prepared for the baddest bitches on one freaking platform, giving you every bit of hip hop, every bit of bars. You just wait. I'm not gonna say no more than that. We got some bomb ass bitches waiting to eat your ears up. That's all. Toodles. Hugs and kisses.
To all our bitches.
Holla.